What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon White. In the last episode, we managed to track down Team Plasma, who are hiding out in the cold storage, and with Charon's help, we were able to grab them once again and return them over to Clay, who originally had them captured for one reason or another. But it looks like we should be good to challenge the gym now. I mean, that was Clay's promise, right? Once we captured Team Plasma, or helped him capture Team Plasma, we could challenge the gym. So let's head on over there and get this done. It's about time we... Uh-oh, this looks like trouble. Clay, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am Getsus of Team Plasma. I've come to pick up my associates who are in your care. I don't need no thanks now. Your buddies were trying to steal some folks' Pokemon. What's this? It seems as if there may have been some misunderstanding. We only free Pokemon from wicked people. Well, that sounds real nice if it's true. I may not talk purty, but at least I'm an honest man. You talk real nice, but what you're saying kind of sounds like a lion. So tell me plain, what are you trying to say? Team Plasma also has an interest in Driftville City, and we have many, many more members besides those who are here. Well, I can't tell if you're lying or not, but I reckon you won this without a fight. Fine, take them and get. A decision worthy of a businessman called the Minor King. Your grasp of the situation is outstanding. Well then, we will be taking our colleagues off your hands. Getsus, thank you very much. Don't worry, my fellow servant of the king. We are two of the 7 sages, are we not? Well then, everyone, I expect that we will meet again somewhere. Sorry to let Team Plasma go after you tracked them down, fellas. Say, why don't we cheer ourselves up with a Pokemon battle? Don't keep me waiting now. Well, we avoided a fight in the middle of the city anyway. Still, I can't help but think Getsus isn't just an ordinary person. I'll have to go make my Pokemon stronger. I really don't want to lose to that Clay guy. Actually, I'm going to win my gym badge in a flawless victory. Anyone else, like, bummed that happened? I mean, I guess Getsus was literally threatening a terrorist attack. But come on, man. After all that work, well, there's nothing we can do. Let's switch Arthur to the front here because he is going to be the star of today's little gym excursion. Let's head on inside, and we're going to be doing our obligatory talk with Clyde as soon as we get in here. I'm sure it was tough dealing with all that right after you arrived here. For now, I'll just give you this. We've obtained our little freshwater, which is now not as nearly as useful as it was before. I mean, we could still get some use out of it, but... Gym Leader Clay uses Ground-type Pokemon. Well, just between you and me, Ground-type Pokemon aren't good against Water-type attacks. Kind of makes me wonder why Clay is living next to water. Well, unfortunately, our Water-type is also a Rock-type, which means that he is weak to Ground-type attacks, which means that Arthur is going to be the star of the show today. And don't you worry, every single Pokemon that we come across in this gym isn't going to have much to stand up against Grass-type attacks, except for one. And we'll talk about that Pokemon a little bit later. But for now... let's just get to work. Now, I'm going to actually be pretty liberal in my use of Leaf Tornado in here, and there's a very good reason for that. Arthur may only be level 29 now, but by the time we get to the end of this gym, he should be level 32, which is good because level 32 is when Arthur learns his best move, and it's a physical move, which is something to keep in to consider, but still a really, really good move, and the one that is going to be carrying him pretty much through to the end game, so not too far away. He's also only now 6 levels away from evolving into Superior, so there's that as well. So yeah, I'm going to just use Leaf Tornado a bunch going through here. He gets through these Pokemon a lot faster as well. And then we can kind of talk about the mechanics of this gym. So as you can see, we have these elevators here that just go up or down. Pretty self-explanatory. Whatever arrow is lit up is the only one you can take. None of them have both lit up at the same time. So you just got to follow the path that is given to you. Now, you'll notice that this next elevator only takes us up, but this is a little bit of a dead end. We'll go up and we'll talk to this guy. And we're just going to battle him. If you ever see a cone there, you know for a fact that you cannot proceed beyond that. So we can't go try to battle that lady trainer over to our left or anything. It's just not happening. It's basically a really roundabout way of making this gym linear. Like, it's cool and all, and it looks cute. That's how most of the puzzles are in this game, obviously. But this one's no exception. There is a set path. You just kind of follow it and battle everyone as you go. So, luckily, we only have to deal with ground types in here, which is, like I said, going to make this really, really easy. Although, I did want to kind of talk about this because this is probably my biggest criticism with Generation 5. And, oh, I don't want to use... I guess I don't have anything for confusion, do I? All right, well, screw it. Let's just keep going. My only big gripe with Generation 5 is the nature of these gyms, like how the gyms themselves are designed. Because, I don't know, Generation 5, and not every generation is better, is too much better, but some of them are better than this. But I feel like in the earlier games especially, they were a lot more creative with the sort of Pokemon they threw at you, particularly actually the first two generations. That's actually one of my favorite things about Generation 1 and 2, is that when you'd go into a gym, the trainers you'd fight along the way, you had no idea what trainers they were going to throw at you, because they weren't necessarily tied to the typing of the gym. They were just similar to it, especially because, you know, back when there weren't a lot of Pokemon, there weren't a lot of options for them to go for, so they were like, let's not just tie ourselves to the gym type. Let's just throw things that are vaguely similar. A very good example of this is the first ever gym in the Pokemon series, the Pewter City gym from Pokemon Black and White, from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. The only other trainer in there, besides Brock himself, does not have Brock's Pokemon, Geodude and Onix. It has Sandshrew and Diglett, which, yeah, they're not rock types, but they did sort of add some variety and kept you on your toes a little bit more, which I appreciate that. I liked it when the games would do that more. I mean, you look at the Poison Gym that you would fight in Fuchsia City, if you want an example for later in the game, that had, it had Drowsy in there, which isn't even a poison type, but it, you know, aside from the obligatory Grimers and Coughings. And I don't know, I feel like Pokemon gyms could stand to be a bit more, they could stand to think outside the box a little bit more when it comes to their typing. That being said, it doesn't really matter anymore nowadays, because obviously there are so many Pokemon of each individual type to pick from that that Game Freak can just throw whatever they want at the wall and it'll stick at this point. So regardless, let's continue. Just like I said, nothing but Sandiles, Palpitoads, and Drillburs in here, which, whatever. What are you going to do at this point? So, all right. This guy's got 3 Pokemon, and I believe he is the second to last trainer before we get to Clay. Start off immediately with Intimidate. So let's just use more Leaf Tornadoes here. I'm probably going to use 2 in this fight. Like I said, we're getting real close. And I do want to have a couple of Leaf Tornado uses saved for one particular Pokemon. I'm okay with using Mega Drain on Palpitoad just because of that quad effectiveness. So it shouldn't be too bad. And there we go. Is that a one-shot? Yes, it is. I had a feeling it would be. But I don't have confidence that Mega Drain will be a one-shot on this Sandile. So, there we go. Not another Intimidate. You know what? Why can't y'all just have Moxie? It's a way better ability anyway. That's what you should be using. Much stronger. But whatever. I'm not going to complain too much. I'm not throwing out physical attacks as it is. So now you go, and now we just got one more elevator to hit, which was the elevator we did not take up on when we were down a floor below. So let's head back on over this way and up. And there we go. And you notice that one of those trainers was optional. A couple of them are actually optional. Make sure you hit them all. You don't want to waste any experience, because as soon as you leave this gym after defeating Clay, none of these trainers can be battled anymore. So, yeah, don't leave any experience on the table if you can help it. I know it takes a little bit of extra time, but it is always worth it to battle every single one. So now, for this Drillbur, I will just be using a basic Leaf Tornado. And I think this should be the one that pushes Arthur to level 32. So let's see. We got it. Yes, we did. Beautiful. 533. Yes! And there it is. Arthur grew to level 32 and wants to learn Leaf Blade. This is it. This is the move we were waiting for. Leaf Blade has a base power of 90 and accuracy of 100. Is a physical move, which is now better for Servine and Superior, not so much for Snivy. And critical hits land more easily. I am going to be getting rid of Mega Drain for this, just, you know, to keep that type coverage going. Plus, as we go into this next fight, it's going to be nice to get a bunch of growths going from the very start. But there we go. Beautiful stuff. Now, let's take this down. And all the way into Clay's room we go. And gosh, I love the attention to detail and the design of these gyms. Like, I was ragging on the Pokemon selection, but the aesthetic in this generation is just, it's so freaking good, man. Look at this. Look at this. This is like the best room yet. I love it. Oh, man. You know, I know people like to criticize the new games for various different reasons, and, you know, I do too, but some of them I really think are overblown. This is one of those things where it's just like, you can tell Game Freak just had a level of artistic creativity and license that they were able to, on the DS no less, that they were able to flex with this generation that just was never seen again. Even in Generation 6 and 7, it kind of never came back. I mean, as much as people like to rag on the Switch games. And I don't know, I miss this so much. I really do. Well, think it's about time to see for myself what it's about your skills that made a gym leader like Elisa take such a shine to you. And so begins our battle against Gym Leader Clay. He is going to be rocking 3 Pokemon for us to take down this time. The first of which is Krokorok with its ability Moxie, just like I was saying before. This thing has Swagger, Torment, Crunch, and Bulldoze, which is going to make trying to get some growths going a little bit difficult, but we should be okay. I'm going to immediately start off with one of those, because I honestly don't know which Pokemon he's going to throw out next. One of them might give me a little trouble, the other one won't. Bulldoze is the signature move of this gym because it is a ground type that always lowers the speed of a Pokemon hit by it. Now he's going to throw out a Swagger, which I do have to worry about, and this is just kind of me setting up. Attack raises sharply, that's okay. Oh no, become confused. There we go, get another growth. Okay, now we can start throwing out our Leaf Blades, which I am going to be using on all but one of his Pokemon. The Leaf Tornado is for his other Pokemon. So there's a Crunch, going to lower defenses if that actually lands, and it didn't. I got lucky. All right, down you go, Krokorok. So first Pokemon easily defeated. We raised our attack by 4 stages, which was due in part thanks to Krokorok's help. Next is his signature Pokemon, Excadrill, which is a ground and steel type Pokemon, which complicates things a little bit. This thing has Hone Claws, Slash, Rock Slide, and Bulldoze, and it can hit pretty darn hard. But it is much more of a physical defensive Pokemon than it is a specially defensive Pokemon, which is why I wanted to save my Leaf Tornadoes for this exact moment. Now, hopefully we can break through this. No, that's a little bit of a problem. Okay. So now that our attack is way the heck up, let's try to get in a... I guess I could just use a Lemonade here. Don't want to use a Freshwater. This is where things are going to get a little bit on the tricksy side. I just got to be careful. So I'm going to use Slash. That's going to hurt a lot. Oh, yeah. Okay, if he gets a crit, we might be in trouble. Okay, another Hone Claws. Let's hope we can get this Leaf Tornado off, and it actually lands. Come on, Arthur. Oh, come on. Break out of that confusion. Thank you. Good. So that's not going to be super effective, but it is going to be a fair bit of damage, and it's going to lower his accuracy. Not that it's going to matter much because of the Hone Claws. I'm going to try a Leaf Tornado next. Hopefully Arthur can survive this, but, ooh, just barely. Thank goodness Excadrill is not a rock type. Otherwise, we would have been in trouble there. And down he goes. Thank you for all those attack raises. Next, and last but not least, we've got, well, I guess it is least, is Palpitoad with Aqua Ring, Bubble Beam, Muddy Water, and Bulldoze. There is absolutely nothing this thing can do that will hurt me too badly, but I'm not going to take any chances here, and, you know, especially because I have lower speed, it could easily just get off a Bubble Beam and knock Arthur out. So let's just use a Lemonade really quickly. Yeah, that will do more than 2 HP, so I figured it was a smart idea, especially now since that was a critical. Let's finish you off with another Leaf Blade. Like your Aqua Ring is going to do anything here. And down you go. That's it. Clay has been defeated. Level 33 is mine. Appreciate it. And there we go. Well, I've had enough. And just so you know, I didn't go easy on you. You know what, Clay? I believe that. I appreciate the fight, though. You did a very good job. I see. But I sure don't like it. For such a youngin', you have an opposing battle style. I know you got people who can dig up your potential. Here, take this. I can never really tell what that gym badge was supposed to be growing, or when I first played this game, but the more I look at it, it's like, oh yeah, obviously that's like a whole section of rock sliding off of another one after it's been cracked apart. When I always thought it was like a bullet or something. I had no idea what it was. A bit of a very American if it was a bullet, though. So this is your 5th badge, huh? That's so. Pokemon up to level 60 will obey you. Also, I'll give you this TM. Well, that was the plan, but I just remembered there's something I want. Wait in front of the cave at the end of Route 6, would you? Well, fine. If you don't know what badge that's going to be, or TM that's going to be, it's going to be Bulldoze, given that was the signature move of that entire fight. Not that it really matters too much to me anyway, because unfortunately, I kind of don't really have any Pokemon that can learn Bulldoze at the moment. Well, actually, I think Crush can. So maybe I'm jumping the gun on that a little bit. But with all that said, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon White. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode very much. In the next episode, we will be heading out onto Route 6, where Clay told us to meet him, but we're going to be stopped along the way in a couple of ways, and taking a look at all sorts of different things. There's also some trainers out there for us to battle, all this good stuff, and we're going to be worrying about it next time. So with all that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.